like to thank Andrew West for loaning this pistol to me. I haven't shot a Beretta M9 since I was in the Army back in 1994, so it's been about 23 years since I've shot a Beretta, so I appreciate him loaning this to me. There has been quite a few advancements since that time and on this particular model in general. First of all, I want to talk about the magazines. The magazines, you get 17 round magazines. They're all metal. They're coated with a PVD coating inside and out, which I understand helps them continue to function even in very dusty and sandy environments. They have a flat polymer base and a flat base and a polymer follower as well. There is no metal insert on the follower where the slide catch comes up and that follower catches it to lock the slide back, but I've had no problems with the gun locking back today. Don't anticipate there will be. But everything has worked pretty well in this gun today. I had no real issues with it. Some of the improvements is right here is in the grip that you have. They have some stippling there, some checkered, and also some serrations down at the bottom on the front strap. You also see that on the back strap. Now this is the Veritech frame. The frame is smaller than the traditional frame on the Beretta, and it also is much more pleasing to me as I have a kind of a medium-sized hand. It allows me to reach the grips and controls better. Now you have these grips that go on the side panels there that come standard with the gun. You also have an additional grip. Let me go ahead and get that for you. It's a hoe grip. It's a wraparound grip that makes the gun more like the original M1 double stacked, and it just kind of fits over top of the gun. It screws in the existing hose. But if you have larger hands, there's an option for you, and it may be much more pleasing to you than these slimmer grips. Now I like the slimmer grips because it just makes me get to the controls a little bit easier. You do have a beveled magazine well there, which allows the magazines to go in and out very quickly. Also you have a lanyard loop right there. So you know, all the controls on this gun, they're blacked out. You have a bronzed finish on the aluminum frame, and you kind of have a Cerakote dark earth on the barrel as well as the slide, and of course the dark earth on the grip panels as well. Very beautiful gun. This is an iconic gun. If you see the no gun signs in various stores, this most likely will be the silhouette that you will see with the cross through it. So anyway, it is very recognized firearm. Another one of the advancements that they've done, or improvements, is they have an extended magazine release button, and that makes it much easier when you're holding the gun with the thumb to get that magazine out, and I really appreciate that. Now when you put the thicker grip on there, it's a little bit harder to do, certainly for me. Of course, you have extended controls on the slider release there, and that is not ambidextrous. Your safety decocker is ambidextrous. Now this is a safety decocker here. You can get this gun with the decocker only. What the difference is for example, we'll pull the trigger back again. This is an unloaded gun. There's nothing in the chamber, but what we'll do here is we'll kind of show you on the camera. As you push that decocker down, it rotates where the firing pin hammer would hit the firing pin at, and blocks that from being hit. Okay, so you can decock it safely even with the round in the chamber. Now once that's down, you're in safety mode, meaning that the trigger has been disengaged. A lot of people don't like that. If you don't like it, you can get a decocker only on this and replace it, so that's not any big deal. This is an F series, those are G series guns. Now one of the improvements that they have made here is you have a 3-slot Picatinny rail. They've kind of cut off the trigger guard to make your accessories fit up there a little bit better. You also have a 4.9-inch barrel, which is threaded at the end, so it's ready to be fitted for a suppressor. Actually, the owner of this gun has informed me that he's already shot this suppressed and had no problems with it. It's a 1/2 by 28 basically threaded barrel there, so it's pretty standard. You have your cat that goes over it. You have a little O-ring here. Basically that has to come off when you put that suppressor on there. One of the other things that they have done to improve this gun is the sights. Now the sights, the front sight traditionally on this gun is a solid sight. It's just milled into the frame, or excuse me, the slide. Here they have dovetails now, and these are Triton night sights on the front and back, so they are adjustable for windage. and can be removed and replaced if you don't like them. Now, this is a tactical sight. It comes straight up and down, so if you have an injury to your arm, you can cock that by using a piece of wood or your boot or belt or something there, as opposed to using a second hand. Now, you can go ahead and see the sights on this. They do very, very well at night. They really are bright for a long period of time, and I'm impressed with them. So one of the great things I think about the Beretta, other than the double action portion of the trigger, is the single action. But right now it's in double action mode, and it's not really that bad in double action mode. We'll go ahead and show you that. Let's go ahead. It's on safety now, so we have to put that safety up. And a lot of people say the safety is reversed on that, but that's what you get when you get a safety basically on top of the slide. When you pull that trigger, it's a very smooth double action trigger, and that's the way this gun is going to be carried when it's carried in service. Now, to get a single action trigger, we'll show you the next shot will be single action on this firearm because the slide will cock it back. But you have a very short trigger, single action trigger. I'm going to show you what reset is. Reset is very short, right there. And there you go. Now, I measured the trigger pull on this Beretta to be basically 4 pounds and 11 ounces, and that's very impressive. It's a very good trigger. To me, it's one of the best triggers out there on one of these guns, and it helps make it very accurate. Even the long double action pull was 6 pounds 12 ounces, but it's also extremely smooth. But a lot of people don't like that because they're going from a double action trigger, then the next follow-up shots are a single action trigger, but that's just how this gun is. But the gun is very accurate. Of course, it's iconic in the sense that you do not have any type of slide cut. You know, the slide's cut out at the top, so the barrel is exposed. That's said to make the gun easier to clear if you need to. However, I can't imagine that being an issue. It wouldn't be an issue in a desert, high dust environment. I would imagine that has been somewhat of an issue in places like Afghanistan and Iraq. And maybe that was one of the Army's considerations. However, here out in the eastern United States, certainly there's no problems with it, and I've never had a problem with it. But certainly I can see where, from a care maintenance standpoint, that could be an issue, and that may have been one of the reasons they didn't get their contract again. This gun is extremely light. I mean, it comes in at 32.8 ounces with a magazine in it, which is pretty amazing for an all-metal gun. So it's right up there with the polymer guns as far as weight goes. A little bit heavier, but not certainly by much. It is a very long gun. This is an 8.5 inch gun in length. It's 5.4 inches in height, and the thickness basically measured at the Decocker is about 1.5 inches. So it's not a gun you're going to carry concealed. It's a service duty gun, and that's what it is. The gun's very easy to take down. The Beretta is one of the easiest firearms there is out there to take down, and we're going to go ahead and show you that. We'll go ahead and put it on safe, but you have a little button on the other side, and this is just the other side of the takedown lever, and you do have to push that in. And the reason you have to push that in is because the outside of the pin is larger than the inside, and it basically catches right here, and that holds it in place. So when you push it in, it allows you to flip that lever down, and it just slides off. You don't have to pull a trigger, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to cock it back to get the gun apart. Now, it does have a polymer recoil spring in it, which is something new. Not really concerned about that. They've proven themselves. There is just one spring there. It does have a block. Get that out. A block that locks it in, and you have a very minimal feeding ramp on this gun. Really it's very minimal because the bullet goes straight in from the magazine into this, which also makes this gun very reliable. Very easy again to put back together. You got to make sure that block goes right down in there. Let's put the recoil spring back in. Okay. There you go. And now you do have to lock, when you put the slide back on the gun, you do have to lock it back to put that takedown lever back in the proper position. So we're locking it back. All you do is just rotate that up to the 3 o'clock position, and that gun is good to go. function check. There we are. I found the gun to be very reliable. It's functioned flawlessly on the range today. No issues with it. Very accurate gun. I see no reason, if you want the iconic Beretta M9, to buy this gun, but just keep in mind it is a service pistol. It does go from double action to single action. So let's get out there and shoot this gun some more. We'll take it out there a little longer range now. Okay, we're gonna go out here to about 25 yards on our target. We're shooting at a 12 by 18 target from Challenge Targets.